What happens when a system built on protection starts believing that it is being used as a loophole? Because that is the only question now shaking the US immigration debate. The Trump administration has issued a new directive asking the Immigration and Custom Enforcement to intensify the scrutiny over asylum claims with a sharp focus on alleged fraud inside the system. And this is being framed as a crackdown on abuse. According to the memo, officials argue that a growing number of all of these migrants enter the United States at a very large asylum claim, while citing fear of the persecution, torture on home countries. But the administration claims that some of these cases do not meet the legal threshold. However, here's where the story becomes more complex. Now, asylum law in the US is designed for a narrow and very specific protection cases. And these cases include fear of prosecution based on race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or even the social group. But in practice, the system relies heavily in the testimony, documentation, and the legal interpretation. And that opens the door to contradiction. Well, between protection and verification, the directive now pushes the ICE attorneys to take more active enforcement roles. Not just reviewing the cases, but investigating the patterns, questioning the credibility, and in some cases, pursuing the fraud allegations. And yet, critics say that this is where the tension begins. Because asylum claims can involve individuals who arrive with limited documentations, sometimes fleeing unstable from the dangerous environments, verifying every detail, and it becomes difficult to verify. But this is not just about individual cases. It is also about the trust in those systems, in the entire immigration framework. That becomes politically charged and, yes, legally complex and increasingly overloaded. The Department of Homeland Security's legal leadership has also argued that immigration courts have seen repeated patterns of what they describe as the coached narratives and repeated claim structures across the cases. But advocates warn that the aggressive enforcement could now also risk the discouraging of the genuine applicants from seeking the protection in the United States. And you know what? Now that changed the whole narrative. Because now ICE is not just a border enforcement agency. Now, its narrative is changed. It is being positioned at a gatekeeper inside the courtroom itself. So the question is no longer just about who qualifies for the US asylum. It is also about who decides what is real and what is not.